So why on earth am I building twin computers? What's the point? Why am I building twin hexacore systems? Well, when I'm at home, I want to have a powerful computer. I have many now, but I want one that will be identical to another computer that I have at work. And they're both hexacore computers, and they'll both communicate with each other 24/7 via VPN and the internet. So when I'm at home, I can use this one. When I'm at work, I can use this one. And then when I'm traveling, I can use this iPad to communicate with either. That's what I'm shooting for here. Maybe you can think of a better way, a cheaper way, or maybe you can think of 1,000 ways that I am being foolish by doing this. But I suspect this is going to be a very, very effective tool for me going forward. This video is about building those hexacore computers. I got these Thermataki cases because they came well recommended and I thought that they were really cool. One of the comments on Newegg though was that it's like building a computer in a bottle, like a ship in a bottle. And considering that it seems like that basically the bottom comes off and maybe some of the part of the top there, but otherwise the modular case stays like that. I can see what they mean. I finally got the top off this one. That's going to help a lot. Each machine is going to have two 600 gig Velociraptor drives. And you might say, well, you're spending so much money, why bother with hard drives? Why not use SSDs? And the answer really is that with the trim commands and everything else, you can't get the same level of storage with SSDs, and I want the performance across all the data. So I'm going to have two 600 gig Velociraptors in each box in RAID 0. For the optical drives, I chose the light-on deep Blu-ray burners. They were pretty reasonably priced, and I wanted Blu-ray burners in the machines. I went with ASUS AMD motherboards. These motherboards were pretty cheap, and that's good. I like the micro ATX size. And of course, since these are AMD hexacores, you need that motherboard. Now, I may get some flack for my choice of video card because it's the GTX 465. I didn't go with the 470 or 480, and I did that because even though I am going to be doing some gaming with one of these machines, I wanted to go ahead and keep the price down on the video cards a little bit. Each machine is going to have 8 gig of RAM. So you got the ADATA RAM for the machines. I'm going to go ahead and play around with the 3D. I got the NVIDIA 3D kit for the home machine. We'll see how that goes. If I could get the chance to get a ASUS over other motherboards, I do. I mean, I like Gigabyte and some other ones, but ASUS is my go-to motherboard. I've had very good experiences with them, and so if I can get them, I will. Haven't really worked with the Thermataki cases before. Well, I take that back. I think I did have one other build with that. This is a very small, nice little motherboard. Should be perfect for what I'm trying to do here. So if you have any experience with putting computers together, you'll know that I'm going to have to pop that out and put in one that's built for it. So I popped out the old back and I put in the new one, and oh, that snapped in so nicely. That's good. These are often a pain to deal with. This one looks like it's going to be good. So I just need to cinch that up there and find the, line up the everything so that it fits in. Oh, look at that, it is optical out. I didn't even know that. This actually has built-in graphics on the board, which is crazy for the price. It's like 80 bucks. And I'm not going to use those, of course, because I want to do gaming, but it's just kind of funny that it does have that. I chose this case and board because I wanted the best of both worlds. You know, I actually wanted to go back to something old school where you put the computer on your desk, you know, so you're not reaching down to put disks in and stuff, but you actually have the computer itself on the desk. This case is a little bit big for that, but you know, it offered so much functionality. It's really a full-size case that has small case aspects to it. Okay, the motherboard's bolted in. Now let's put in the CPU. Here it is, the AMD Phenom 2 Black Edition. This is the Hexacore X6-1090T. I'm going to use the stock AMD cooler, which actually looks pretty good. I'm not going to overclock these machines. Now normally I do overclock, but I'm not going to do that with these. I want to focus on cooling, and 3.2 gigahertz on a hexacore is enough anyway. Okay, this is one of the most delicate parts of the operation. Now it's interesting because the AMD, now look, it's a little arrow there and a little arrow here, so it's delicate, but it's also not very difficult. Oh, look at that, no bent pins, how nice. Ta-da! Now look, this has the thermal paste already pre-applied, and they say that that's enough, so I'm going to take their word on that. Okay, now I'm going to mount the fan. Uh-oh, I'm going to have to do some work there. That's never a sound you want to hear. Right, this is the locking mechanism. That should be locked. Oh, that locked so nicely. Look at that. That was really easy. Alright, I'm going to roll with the board, so I'm just going to keep going with that, and I'm going to do the RAM next. This board just slides right in when it's done, so I can build up everything. I'll probably do the video card too, so that I just end up sliding the whole thing in. I really even think that's pretty much the only way you can do it with this board. Nice. Okay. That should never be a problem if you have the right memory. And you're putting it in the right way. I've known people who have forced it in the wrong way and started it up. That's not good. That can lead to expensive blue smoke. Okay, RAM's in. Alright, let's try the video card now. You know, when you buy stuff online, you've never really seen the stuff before. It's always an interesting experience when the card arrives, and you see just how incredibly gigantic it is. So this may be something that ends badly, but hopefully not. It is a gigantic card. It's always nice to see that I got the right kind of card. Alright, this gigantic thing I think is actually going to fit, believe it or not. Look at that, slides right in there. Look at how enormous that card is. Holy cow. All this plastic on it. Man, that's just huge. That is just enormous. Really looks kind of funny with this little tiny setup, but it should work. And it should be one really great computer. Okay, so the motherboard's mounted, the chip's installed, the RAM's installed, the gigantic graphics card is installed. Now let's go ahead and do a test, slide this thing in just to see if it fits, and then I'll start working on the drives. Here's the moment of truth. I suspect this isn't going to be a problem at all. It's probably going to go right in there. Got some things to go up there, but I'm just fitting it in that way. But yeah, that fits in no problem. And there's about a ½ an inch on the video card. Perfect. Alright, the Blu-ray drive, very straightforward. I'm probably going to mount it in this one as opposed to the other side. The top isn't a, there'd have to be some, it would just be mounted on the one area there, so this is very easy to mount. It's one of those cases where it helps to do everything in the right order. I mounted the Blu-ray burner, but I have to put the Velociraptors in prior to mounting it in the computer. Okay, I've mounted 1.2 gig of Velociraptor goodness, and I'll just stick that in the case. It's important to put the cables in before you put in the Blu-ray as well. I'm going to try to put the power cable in as well too. I might not be able to do that without mounting the power supply first, so that might be a challenge. The intact power supply pops in quite easily. I wanted to put it in next because I want to attach the power cables to the Velociraptors because the Velociraptors are hidden underneath the Blu-ray burner. So that's what I wanted to do. It's going to make putting the motherboard cables there on a little bit tougher, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal. Alright, I've got hard drives, Blu-ray burner, power supply hooked up. I just need to connect the motherboard and all of the power cables. Of course, now I really understand what they're talking about, building a computer in a bottle. So it really helps to think your way through a build before you do the build. Let's see if we can put this back in without, I know that it'll be just as well. Spatial skills are helpful. Computer building. I'm just doing odds and end power cables now. You can see this motherboard power spot. It's kind of up here, so I wanted to break it out. These are tied off, and I want to extend them and bring them around. Okay, I'm just ready to plug in the extra cords into the graphics card. The Xantec has all kinds of nifty power cables for that, so okay, well, power management or power cable management. Make sure that that's clear down here. Yeah, that is clear. I'll be able to check on electronic. And there's my power. There's your power cable management for you. Just stuff that in there like a big sausage. Just stuff it in. Yeah, my cable management is up to my usual standards, you know, just basically stuff it in. That's good to go. Oh, this is really exciting. I get to put the thumb screws in. Now, the fact that this has this kind of system is kind of nice. I like the black lacquer. It's really high quality. It's the kind of stuff you see on custom mod cases. Really sweet. And also, you know, I haven't tested this thing yet, so this is kind of the height of hubris to be screwing this thing together without even posting it yet. But I'm going to do that in a different location, so I'm going to pack it all up, so if it doesn't work, I'll just take it apart and fix it there. So everything's set up, and I got the 3D going and everything, but look at my Microsoft Windows Experience score. See that? 4.1 on the processor side? Guess what I need to do? Flash my motherboard. It's clearly not running at where it should be. Yeah, this is what you want to see when you spend $300 on a processor running at 800 megahertz. Woohoo! That's awesome for 1990. Ah, much better. Recognizes the processor and at 3.2 gigahertz. Excellent. 6.2 is better, especially considering that the CPU has now gone to 7.5.